Hey guys, I wanted to make this quick demonstration on how to use the clone stamp. I have a photo I was working on. I'm going to probably upload to Instagram, but I wanted to mess around and show you how to use the clone stamp because I saw something in the image that I feel like would be a good for this example so you guys can see. So let me go ahead and find the images and open up in Photoshop. So here's the images. I captured some. Here's one way to actually put a lot of images in Photoshop quickly. So if you just click and drag over your photos and then just go up here, drop it in, not on the picture because that'll put it in another picture, but if you drop it right here where these arrows are, it'll upload all 5 at once. So then you can have your 5 images across the screen. But I was standing in between classes looking out the hallway and saw this shadow being cast across. Thought it was kind of cool, but right here I have some cranes, some origami cranes in the window, and I wanted to kind of pull those down a little bit more and have them come longer so you can see them farther down. So I think with this one you can see it better, but this would be a good example to use the clone stamp. So the clone stamp's right here. Click it and basically it'll clone a different part of the picture. It's one of my favorite Photoshop tools. But if I come here and make the size larger, I can make it larger. I also have opacity, and you also have edge hardness. So you can go hard with the edge or soft with the edge. I usually go soft, and then I usually will put this down to like 50% to start. And then I'm going to clone this and bring it down more so it's a longer swan piece. So I'm going to go right here. Now in order to take a picture of cloning something, what you do is hold Alt on a laptop. I'm on a Dell laptop right now. You hold Alt to get this target. If you're on that's on the keyboard, and then if you're on a Mac, it's actually Option now. So you hold Option, and then once you hold it and you see the target, then you just click with your mouse and then let off of everything. And then when I move over, you actually see if I start to clone and start to click, every time I click, it's going to do a little bit, 50% of the image. I actually don't want it right there, so I'm going to Control Z back, Control Z back on the keyboard to backstep. I'm going to start right here. So I'm actually going to come down, start right here, and I'm going to see what this looks like. Oh, actually, I got to do another clone piece because I started the clone over there. So now I got to do another clone again. So Alt, click, come down, and then just start pulling that piece down. See the little T there above? That's the part that it's cloning. You can see where it's cloning in the picture. That little piece, I'm going to go back and get it. I'm going to go that far up. Control, there we go. Back to that part. I'm coming around here. I'm going to get in this piece in. Actually, I want to take some of the middle. So if I hold Alt, click, come to the middle, get more of the middle piece so I can look like the piece is kind of coming down farther. Now that I have a longer piece, I can come back up here and Alt this, clone stamp this, Alt click, then come back down here and start it over again. And now I have a longer piece to work from all the way down the wall there. And I went a little too high, so I'm going to Control step back. It started erasing right there a little bit. So I'm right here. Now I'll start bringing this down. That's where I get it down to where it just kind of starts to fall and then just keeps going down and down and down. That's up to you, like how far you would want it to go. But I just thought that would be something kind of fun to add back in a little bit more of. I could even take some clone here, click, go back up, fill in some of this space if I feel like it's a little light. To just kind of play around with surrealism a little bit and kind of maybe make something else, make something extra, add something extra to the image. I could even do it to myself here. I could go Alt, click, and then put my opacity down even smaller, maybe like 25, and then come over here, and I could make myself maybe, again, like I'm coming back in a little bit. There's 2 of me there. There's 2 window reflections. I don't know. This is the type of kind of playing around I like to do, though, in Photoshop, just experimental, and then see what comes of it. Like I kind of don't like this light, so I could come up here and hold Alt, take a clone of that, come down here, and then actually start to clone this in like this. Kind of works. And get rid of that light so it's not so bright. Or I could take this piece here, Alt, and then come up here, line up that piece, and then do a clone of this. You got to be careful with the lines. You don't want the lines to get too off to where it's noticeable. But that's believable. Yeah, so that's the clone stamp. Works for all types of stuff. Fun tool to play around with. Go ahead and give it a try, and have fun experimenting. Thanks for watching.